give you a little guideline on what we do tonight. This has got about four parts to it, and according to the baseball and the soccer guys, one of the most important parts is the dinner part, which we do first. We then have team presentations by each of our head coaches when we invite the players to come up, and they are all introduced. We have a very special award that we give to a scholar athlete every year as the third portion of the evening. And then finally, to conclude the evening, we induct tonight 2 new members into the Jefferson College Athletics Hall of Fame. This will be the second year for the Comprehensive Hall of Fame. So those are the 4 parts of our banquet this evening. I'm Athletic Director Doug Stotler, and it's my pleasure to present 5 great athletic teams and a cheerleading team to you tonight, and again, 2 Hall of Fame inductees. This past year, I was voted to be Men's Region Director of Region 16. And I attended my first national meeting of the NJCAA as a member of the Board of Directors. And I had something confirmed while I attended that meeting that I had always believed about Jefferson College athletics. And what I had always believed was Jefferson College athletics has a reputation that is truly, truly amazing at the national level. We are not just a regional institution that is known for outstanding athletics and academics. We are known throughout the country, and in some circles even throughout the world. And when I attended the national meeting as a board of director, I was very, very flattered by the many athletic directors across the country that recall a national soccer title, many outstanding volleyball teams that participated in national tournaments. They certainly recall the basketball runner-up finishes at the national tournament. They recall the JUCO World Series last year by the baseball team. And to see people from across the country that recognize our institution was truly, truly a gratifying experience. In addition to having the honor to help decide legislation throughout the country was amazing as well. But before we really get started here, I'd like for you to give yourselves a hand and realize that people across the country know who Jefferson College is. As promised, we're going to move forward with the dinner portion of the banquet, and at this time I'd like Abby Landowy to please step forward and give a benediction.
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us to this banquet tonight. We ask you to be with us as we celebrate the many achievements we've reached as both scholars and athletes. We express our gratitude to all that helped us over the past year. Especially do we thank our parents, coaches, teammates, and friends who encouraged us, counseled us, and pushed us to become better people. Please see us safely through this night and through the tomorrows of our lives. Amen.
Got several others that we'd like to thank and recognize as we move into the second portion of our evening. And I'd like for these individuals to either wave or stand as I say your name. The first individual is a guest with us tonight as a member of our Board of Trustees, Mr. Steve Meinberg, and Steve is here with his son Max this evening. Our president, Dr. Ray Comiskey, is with us this evening. And our Dean of Student Services, Julie Frazier. We do have a former coach with us tonight, and she will be one of our featured Hall of Fame inductees later in the evening. But Coach Stringer, would you please give a wave? Roger Barentine is roaming the floor taking photographs. Roger is our Public Relations and Marketing Director. We've televised several of our games throughout the year in all of our sports, and you see the camera in the middle of the floor. Tom, can you give a wave while you're turning the camera? Tom Struckoff, JCTV. We've also had extreme amounts of help from Alan Walmsley in information technology. I'm not sure if Alan's here tonight, but we've also had help from JCTV Matt Keeney. Our athletics media staff helps us with photographs and media guides and schedules, and they do a terrific job printing everything here on campus. Amy Coombs, Lauren Murphy, and Samantha DeClue. Please give a wave if you're here. The next guy all the athletes know, and you might have even heard some stories when your child was injured. Greg Crane, our athletic trainer. And Greg was assisted this year by some interns from Logan Chiropractic College. Another individual that you might have heard about from your student athletes is our student success coordinator, Jason Gardner. Jason does all of the advising and is an integral part of all of the transfer process for all of our student athletes. We have Mike Gentry, who is a field house manager here and helps us with a lot of equipment. Mike, if you're here, please give a wave. The individual that is primarily responsible for everything that you see here this evening in terms of banquet setup, she coordinates the entire event. That's Marie Self, our field house coordinator. Marie, thank you so much. And please give a hand, although she's not here. Our athletic secretary, Deb Maples, is also instrumental in helping us with the banquet. Now I'd like for the athletes to stand and stretch just for a second, and as soon as you stand, turn and give a big round of applause to all the fans, and that's going to be your parents and any fans that we have here. So athletes, please stand and let's give a round of applause to your parents, as they are your biggest fans. Again, the second portion will be the team presentations, and each coach will come to the microphone and introduce the players, have a summary of their season, and following that, they will award their team MVP for this past season. And we'd like to start this off by bringing head soccer coach Ricardo Garza to the podium to present the men's soccer team.
Good evening. My name is Ricardo Garza, head men's soccer coach here at Jefferson College. These are the boys. Before we get started, I want to have a few thank yous. First to my wonderful wife, back there, Allison, allowing me to be a coach and put in the time necessary. So Allison, I love you, thank you. And the newborn baby boy over there, Nico. And some other key people in a part of the program, Doug already said, Greg Crane for keeping the boys healthy. He does an awesome job. I look at, where are you, Greg? I look at you as a part of the staff, okay? So, Jason Gardner as well. You motivate these guys alongside our staff to keep the academic part of it, and you do an awesome job. And another special thanks to Joe Lang. In the back there. He's always at the games, always support. Retired, and you're still coming to the games. We really appreciate the support that you have. So, now let's get to the team. To try to speed things along, I know we have a long night ahead of us. I'll just talk about the sophomores and do everyone a favor. First off, John Schnurbush. He's the captain of our program here. John has some career stats here for you. He played in 36 games. You've had faced 190 shots on goal in your career. You have 145 saves, You played in 2,765 minutes. And what I'm most impressed of is your freshman year, your goal against average was 1.832. And when I was recruiting John as a senior, I went to the last game of his season. One more game, he would have been in the state tournament, and he lost. I think he gave up a PK or something like that. And the guy was in tears. He was really emotional. And that's when I knew I had a winner, because he invests everything he has into the game. And I told him, just keep pushing. Come to Jeffco, help us win a championship, and we'll make you a better player. Your sophomore year, John, you've improved your goal against average to 1.0. And then soccer, that's huge. In his freshman year, he gave up almost 2 goals a game. And in his sophomore year, he averaged less than 1. And in a game of soccer, one game decides the game. And so that was awesome to see you really improve. He's a leader on and off the field, one of the most responsible players we have. And he's earned himself a Division I scholarship to Lipscomb University, and he went through a bidding war with Indiana. And Lipscomb got him. So I'm very proud of you, John. You're going to be successful in anything that you do. Next player, Zach Koss. Zach was also captain of the team, 33 games, 1 goal, 3 assists, and 5 points. Now, Zach plays a different kind of position. 1 goal for a holding mid never really even happens. He's in charge of protecting John. And I know for a fact, I've been here since the program's ever been created, and he's the best defensive midfielder of all time that I've ever coached here at Jefferson. He's that good of a player. And whatever program gets you, whether it's SLU or CMU, they're getting an amazing player. And I want to touch a little on your character, the perseverance that Zach has. Of course, the team went through some struggle in the middle of the season and had to persevere through that. But not only that, Zach, with your house being burnt down and losing some family members, your pets, and still having the level head to stay motivated and on top of everything and worry about missing practice. This shows a lot about your perseverance. And I know the reason why you're deciding between SLU and CMU comes down to financial, and that's amazing to have a 20-year-old kid thinking about the future, thinking about future debt, and I think that's awesome, because most kids would just go to SLU and get into debt and play at a great institution, but he's thinking about his future family, and I think that's awesome. So congratulations, Zach. Next player, Tyler Neese. Tyler played in 27 games. He had 2 goals, 1 assist, total of 5 points. He's a special player. For me, he's an up and down player. In the preseason of his freshman year, he earned a scholarship. By the end of the first year, he lost his scholarship and almost didn't make the team his sophomore year. And you would think the kid would just wander away and get away from academics, but he still made the team. He worked his butt off, knowing he had to really push, and he got some playing time, and he's moving on to CMU as well, alongside Zach, his longtime friend, and I think that shows something to his character too. He didn't give up. He knew he made some mistakes, and he fixed it. And so I'm proud of you too, Tyler. Kyle Otek, 36 games played, 4 goals, 1 assist, 9 points in your career. He's a great role player. No matter where I put him in the 2 years he played for us, he was willing to play wherever it needed to be. And that's amazing to have a kid like that, very coachable player. He was completely out of shape. I thought we were going to lose him in the preseason his freshman year a couple times. And he worked his butt off, and he was the most fit player this year on the team by far. Just outrunning everybody, and all because he really wanted to be here. He wanted to be a part of a great institution and a great program. And now he's earned himself a scholarship to Columbia College. So way to go, Kyle. Now the next 3 guys, they're not sophomores, but unfortunately they have to move on for international rules. And the thing is, even though they are freshmen, they seem like sophomores, very mature. I don't know about this one, but he is a special person, and in my career that I always coach is Florent Morlet. This guy didn't know a lick of English, and in the preseason. He's from France, and now he doesn't shut up. I mean, sometimes you struggle academically when you're in that environment, and the soccer part, he wasn't the fittest player, but again, just like Tyler, he persevered, he pushed it. He's doing great in his academics, and we're going to find a school for him next year. And whatever school gets him, he's a lot more trim, and I mean, I wish I was as trim as him right now. They're going to get a good player as well, so good luck to you, Flo. Enrique Nazaro. 17 games played, 5 goals, 1 assist, 11 points. He's a tenacious goal scorer. He's a little pit bull inside the 18. Not much anywhere else, but that's in a high-level game, he's one of the most expensive players to recruit. Someone who will always score, get the game winner, and off the field he's the complete opposite. He's a little teddy bear. Sorry, but you are. You have a great attitude, you're a great teammate, and you were very fun to coach. I wish I had you for another 2 years, but fortunately, he did earn himself a scholarship to CMU as well, though. Congratulations. And finally, Luis Costa, 4.0 from Brazil. Him and Enrique both came here for an opportunity just to get a better education. They were here last spring. I didn't know them. They showed up this fall, wanted to try out, and I got 2 amazing players from it. And he would be our 3rd captain if we had a 3rd one. You earned almost a 99% scholarship, is that correct, to CMU? So he took an investment to come at Jefferson, really did well in class, did good on the field, and now he earned himself a full scholarship for the next 3 years, and you'll get a degree. I mean, that's awesome. And you'll be going to CMU as well. Now the rest of the team, the way things kind of panned out, we had a terrific preseason, developing, getting a nice chemistry. At one point we were 8-1 in the season, and then tragedy kind of struck, and we lost one of our most dangerous players, and we finished the season 6-3-1 without him. We got into the regional final, losing a strong player that we had, Jamil. It took a lot from the rest of the team to have them pick it up. I mean, the player we lost was such a special player, and just to pull out your, sorry baseball, but your Albert Pujols from the Cardinals, it would hurt, back in 2010, and that's the way these guys felt by having Jamil getting pulled from the team. But still, we made it to the regional final, came down to the last shot, and we lost a couple minutes left, and that ended the season. Now the sophomores moving on, they have a lot of potential. They're going to take what they learned from that, apply it to the new team. The freshmen, they were that close, and I can already see it in their eyes, the way they train in the off season. We don't get much of an off season, we're just training. And these guys train like it's the preseason. So I'm very excited for next year. To wrap things up, we have a team MVP. The most valuable player who couldn't be here this evening is Jamil Hardware. Jamil only played in 9 games, scored 13 goals, 2 assists, and had 28 points. And that's how powerful of a player he was. He made all of these guys better, and his character was wonderful. I told him last night he got the award. He sent me a text message and wanted to just share a few words that he said to the team and to everyone here. So thank you for my scholarship to get an education. I feel really comfortable here, and I wish I was returning. I want to thank Coach for making me a better player. Most of all, I want to thank Jason for always making sure I do well in class. I always want to thank my teammates for the support on and off the field. Thank you all. I will miss each and every one of you, Jamil. Unfortunately, he's unable to return next year for financial reasons, and it feels really, really sad to the team, to myself, and it was hands down definitely the most valuable player in our team. So, on behalf of the men's soccer program, we're glad to represent Jefferson College once again, and thank you for all the support.
Our next coach will be head volleyball coach Ida Steiger.
I would want to add all the thanks that Ricky mentioned to the Jefferson College president, student dean, and athletic director Doug Stadler. And also, since my husband never shows up, I would want to say thank you to him, and I appreciate him putting up. You know, anybody who's married to the coach knows what it is to live with one. So. Also, I hope, and I will say it again because I don't think we say enough, to Jason and Greg, you guys just amazing, and I don't know if you guys know how much we appreciate you being part of the athletic department. Anyway, 2011-2012 Jefferson College volleyball team finished 22-10. And even we didn't accomplish the big goal, we accomplished small and a lot of goals, that personal and team-wise. We finished conference 6-0 and taking the 34th title of the conference championship. We beaten teams. We beaten teams that we have never beaten before since I've been a coach. So it's been a fun and long season, but at the end of the day, I'm proud of those ladies. We have 5 all-conference players, and that would be Betta Dumanches, Brooke Simpson, Kelsey Flake, Megan Mueller, and Renata. 5 all-region players, Betta, Megan, Brooke, Kelsey, and Renata. And I am so proud of this person. Today, I have, it's an honor to be her coach, and I have one of all-American players, Brooke Simpson. So now, since we finished this, you know, we always say student athlete, so I started backwards. I wanted to mention all those ladies that accomplished athletic-wise and their accomplishments on the court. But right now I want to stand up tall and talk like a proud mama about the academic side. And Jason and I had a little bit talk last week and before the athletic banquet, and we both, or Jason decided that it's safe to project that the volleyball team will be in the top 10 in the whole country overall GPA. I don't know if we have had teams before, but I definitely have not had a volleyball team that is absolutely amazing in the classrooms, and I think that that's gonna lead you guys a long way in life. So we have 8 academic all-region players: Renata, Megan, Taylor, Brooke, Jessica, Abby, Megan, and Kelsey. We have 9 academic conference players, which is the same list plus Andrea. And we have 6 who's who. It's Renata, Megan, Taylor, Megan, Marshall, Kelsey, and Brooke. And 4 academic All-American players: Renata, Taylor, Brooke, and Megan Mueller. So let's just give them a round of applause. That's a pretty impressive list. So guys, sophomores especially, I want to say thank you. You guys came in as a freshman, and I had 2 sophomores. You had right away to take leadership and led the whole team for 2 years, and very appreciative. And I hope that you guys, moving on, will take what you learned and continue representing Jefferson College well, which I have no doubts you will. So finish it up, I would like to announce the team's MVP, which goes to Brooke Simpson. All right, thank you. I have a small and short speech.
Presenting the basketball team will be Greg Crane and Jason Gardner.
I'm Jason Gardner, Student Athlete Success Coordinator. Greg Crane, Head Athletic Trainer here at the college. A couple words on the women's basketball team this year. The Jefferson College women's basketball team endured quite the season. Their accomplishments throughout the season and the way they overcame adversity was something to be admired. They dealt with roster additions and subtractions before and during the season to play their most important games without some of their key contributors in the regional tournament. Through it all, this team sacrificed for each other and proved without a shadow of doubt they belong among the nation's elite, finishing with a 31-5 record and a 7th place finish at the national tournament. Season highlights included a 14-1 home loss record, which we're very proud of, a perfect 7-0 MCC AC conference record, a 14-game win streak beginning on January 11th, and with that win streak finishing 17-1 down the stretch, ending in 3 straight tourney wins, and obviously the 7th place finish at the tournament. The team won the MCC AC conference and Region 16 crowns, and a lot of teams in here, it can go along with this as well, but that made 8 of the last 10 years. In other words, 2002 to 2012, our women's basketball program has staked claim to the MCACC crown and 5 of the last 6 regional titles. End of the season awards included MCCAC Coach of the Year and 5 MCCAC honored players, including LaQuinta Jefferson, Raven Brooks as first team members, while LaShonda Littleton and Jasmine Crawford both finished as honorable mention. LaQuinta Jefferson finished as a first-team All-Region performer and was also nominated as a finalist for the JUCO Women's Basketball Coaches Association Player of the Year Award, and also an All-American on both teams. LaQuinta also finished as a member of the 2012 All-NJCAA National Tournament team, and the team will finish with 3 Region 16 Academic All-Conference Award winners and possibly 8 or more MCCAC Academic All-Conference Award winners. Of course, the stat I'm most proud of is that the 6 sophomores, which includes Levester, the team manager who began the season with the team, that will be graduating in May or July. Finally, I just want to give a special thank you to Kurt Boyer, who helped the team in so many ways this season and deserves a lot of credit for all the web, announcing, and statistical information. Greg's going to present the team.
It's my honor and my privilege to just introduce you to the members of the basketball team that are here tonight. And before I do that, I'd just like to thank you as student athletes and staff and Doug Styler and everybody that, some days are long for me, but I really, really enjoy working with you guys and ladies. And I just want you to know you'll all be successful as all the coaches are. I'm just as proud as all those coaches are to you. So with that said, I'd like to introduce our basketball team to you as they are here tonight. And first of all, it was Miss Jasmine Crawford. And then we have Miss Raven Brooks. And then we have Miss Marlisa Braxton. And last but not least, Miss Brittany Leonard. So thank you, ladies. Also, I would like to, they do have a Most Valuable Player Award that I'd like to just acknowledge tonight. This person is not here, but this person was pretty much a little bit of different award for this team this year. This young lady really just took over what was her job on this team, really excelled at that, did anything and everything you asked her to do in every way possible, and helped out in many ways, just behind the scenes, out front of the scenes, just one of those things. And actually this year's award goes to Miss Shonda Littleton, and she was actually the manager. So that award is going to go to her this year. We'll just like to acknowledge her receiving that. Is she here? Sharonda, I'm sorry. My apologies. Sharonda Littleton. So That's it. So this is your basketball team. Please give them a good round of applause.
Our head cheerleading coach, David Crump, please present the cheerleaders.
All right, how you doing? Basically, this was our cheer squad. Most of the time when you get an athlete, like a baseball, basketball, they do that sport, okay? Out of our 12 cheerleaders that we took to competition, we had 4 that had ever cheered in their life. So for you those to know, that's 8 that had never cheered. And several of them we picked up from Club Awards Night, Club Spirit Day. And I mean, there was people like Lisa who was like, cheerleader? Are you kidding me? I've never been a cheerleader. And we actually threw a team together, competed. We got second place at the Mid-America Championship, National Championships. And we did really good. You know, it was an exciting event. But one thing I'm really proud of this year is our GPA. Our grades has been the main focus this year. We've got 6 scholar athletes, which I know in the past has not been very known. We had 3 Who's Who Among Americans. We had 3 that were on the Dean's List. And it was a really good effort by our team to get their study hall hours, go to class, and then they also still had time to do cheerleading and have a life. I'd like to announce our captains. One was Leo Umfleet. He will be going to Southeast Missouri State next year, where he'll actually be playing rugby, so it's pretty exciting. Also, we have Sarah Napier. She'll be going to Florida to do marine biology. And then we have Sam Pomerco, where she'll be going to, I believe it's Fontbonne. We had a really great season. You know, we got to cheer on an awesome basketball team. I'd like to thank Jason for keeping, you know, my students on track. You know, hey, somebody's messing up, get them going. And it was very exciting. Basically, I would like to announce my MVP. When I think of MVP, I think of somebody that if you did not have them, I mean, you'd be completely lost. And when it comes to cheerleading, you got to have some muscle, all right? And our team MVP is going to be Leo Umfleet, because without him, I think nothing would have been possible this season. Thank you.
We have one team that is still competing in their season, and that is the baseball team and head coach Sam Carroll. Please have your guys come up.
I look out and see all these student athletes out here, and of course the one thought that comes to my mind is, why can't we get this kind of turnout for study hall? That'd be nice. No kidding. I know this is a night, you know, obviously for our student athletes, and there's going to be a little bit later on in the evening, we're going to honor 2 very special women. And I'd just like to take a moment, if you don't mind, for me to kind of express a few thoughts for them. You know, Ida Steiger, I didn't see her play, but I heard nothing but great things about obviously the way she competed. But she's been a colleague of mine for 6 years. And one of the things that's really stood out for me with the way she coaches her gals is she has done something that's very difficult to do. She has taken a great program that Joellen Stringer built, and she's continued to make it great. And that's very difficult to do, to take something that's great and continue to be great. And Ida, congratulations on your accomplishment and everything that you've done. Hug later. Joellen Stringer, about 6 years ago or 7 years ago, I was a punk 28-year-old kid looking for a job. And I walk into, you know, an interview with about 6 or 7 other people, and there I saw Joellen Stringer. You know, her and Dave Oster and a few other people obviously took a chance on me. And I've really admired Joellen over the last 6 or 7 years that I've seen her. I don't know much about what she did when she coached because she was on the back end of her career. But I do know this. The thing that I've noticed about her over the last 6 or 7 years, and this speaks to the type of person that she is that obviously she's won a lot of championships. You can see them up there on the wall. But we're in this business because of relationships. And you can see over the years the amount of girls that she has coached have grown up to be beautiful women, great kids, families. It's amazing to me how many times those people would come into her office and talk to her just to say hi. And you can tell that Joellen Stringer made a lifelong impact, a lifetime impact on several women. And that's why we're in this business. And for me, that's always been admirable. And I've loved what you do, and I've always loved watching it. And Joellen, congratulations on this great moment for you as well. All right, let's get through our guys here so we can move on. Obviously, like Coach Stotler said, we're still competing. Just a couple weeks ago, we were able to win our 6th consecutive conference championship. We earned the #1 seed for the regional tournament that's next week, and we're looking to make a run like we made last year out to Grand Junction, Colorado. I know there's a few people out here that saw us play, was a part of our trip last year, that went through Farmington, went through an extra inning championship game down in New Orleans, Louisiana, to go on to the World Series, and then to be able to go on into Grand Junction and play in front of 7,000 to 8,000 people each day. It's a pretty special ride that this group has taken us on, and we're looking forward to making another special run this year as well. Before I move on, let's go ahead and talk about these guys here. We're going to introduce them real briefly, but the thing that stood out, obviously, I want to make a couple comments here, is that amongst this group, you've got, I know the coaches have talked about academics. We've got 2 academic All-Americans in this group, 9 academic All-Region guys in this group, and 15 academic All-Conference members in this group as well. So congratulations. Let's go down the list here and then we'll move on. Let's start down here. Brett Wiley, our shortstop from Evansville, Indiana. Jake Busick, hold your hand up. Left-handed pitcher from Eureka, Missouri. Mike Grimminger, hold your hand up. Right-handed pitcher from St. Genevieve, Missouri. Phil Landwehr, middle infielder from Washington. Brad Lombard, right-handed pitcher from Iowa. Justin Atkinson, looking dapper Dan as usual, from Canada. Blake Martin, this is an eclectic group if you can tell by the way we dress. Blake Martin from Ozark, Missouri. Hold your hand up, Blake. Your other hand, Blake. Thank you. Danny Murphy from here in St. Louis. Jackson Lucci from Dallas, Texas. One of the best homes that I've ever been in my entire life. Dane Grunwald, left-handed pitcher from Winfield, Missouri. Andy Hefner, right-handed pitcher from St. Charles. C.J. Kaler, left-handed pitcher from St. Dominic High School. Tyler Thompson, one of the worst mullets I've ever seen, from down in Steele, Missouri. Drew Casper, right-handed pitcher from Kansas City. Tyler Hibbert, I can't see you. First member, not academic, we haven't seen him study hall, but first team All-American center fielder returns, really having a phenomenal year after last year. So Tyler Hibbert. Josh Herrick, one of our academic All-Americans from right here in Eureka, Missouri. Darius Small from U City. Logan Bone from Festus, Missouri. Brendan Neal, outfielder, having a great year from Festus. Brett Sutton, obviously didn't get the memo on what to wear tonight. Don't know where you're from, Brett. Ian Fagey, a heck of a dancer. Fred Ford from Fort Zumwalt South, really having an outstanding year for us. A.J. Walkenhorst, probably threw the best game of the postseason last year when he beat Crowder 2-0 in a 9-inning game to win the championship. It's a shame he's not pitching this year for us, but he threw one of the best games I've ever seen at any level, and that should be commended. Travis Hayes, interesting haircut. Stephen Dial, Travis is from Crystal City, really having a very good year for us. Spoke at Rotary Club with Dr. Comiskey. He obviously was the best speaker there that day. Stephen Dial, left-handed pitcher from up here in St. Charles. Logan Hirschnow from St. Charles. Who else we got here? Javon Jacobs from Canada. I cannot see. Sage Boehner, obviously really small. Sage Boehner from Fox High School. Brett Peel, Bad Tie from St. Charles, Missouri. Jeff Kamer, catcher, transfer from Florida International. Kyle Leslie, outfielder from Seckman High School, came up with a big double for us last year in the Super Regional Championship. Dalton Friend, left-handed pitcher, he could probably give this speech if you wanted to. You've seen a few of these in your day. Left-handed pitcher Could be Dalton Friend. Let's talk about Dalton Friend. Dalton Friend, I'm going to say something here. In about 3 weeks, we could be hosting the Super Regional for a chance to go to the World Series. Dalton Friend will pitch, obviously, on the mound on opening day. Dalton Friend could become the highest draft pick to ever come out of Jefferson College. He's got a shot to be really good. I know he's embarrassed to hear this, and we don't say this lightly, and obviously he's got to stay healthy and get a shot. Dalton Friend you may see on TV in a few years. He's got a legitimate shot if he stays healthy and stays motivated to be really good. But that's going to be up to him. And then, of course, Reese Taylor from Springfield, Missouri. So that's her team there. Assistant coaches, we have Coach Underwood, who's the mayor of Jefferson County. He's not here tonight. Coach Oster, who got inducted into the Hall of Fame last year. And then, of course, Pat Evers, who really runs this program in the back. Hold your hand up, Pat. And he, of course, is supported by his lovely bride, Casey, who's expecting their first child. So that's outstanding. Very good. So, anyhow, Super Regional Championship Districts is here in a couple weeks. Hopefully, we look forward to see you out there, and go Vikings. Thank you very much.
Tony Cook will present the softball team.
First, I'd like to say it's unique to see all these ladies up here dressed when I'm normally used to them in ponytails and sweats, and even with the guys with their ball caps. It's a different view of looking at someone, so it's kind of a weird way to see things. So I say you might be the best dressed team here, though. So unfortunately, our season ended last weekend. We finished 39-19. Most people think that would be a great year, and we think, after sitting back and reflecting, it is a good year, but we set some team goals that we just missed on, but we did make a lot of individual goals and team goals, and one of those was to win over 30 games, which we've done now for the last 7 years straight. So that's a goal that we wanted and we're keeping up with, so that's always a good thing. One of the other ones is that this team is ranked in the top 5 in the country in hitting. They're ranked right now number 8 in the country at a .388 batting average. So that says a lot about what the work they did all year and the accomplishments that come with it individually, as I'm getting ready to announce here in a few minutes. But this team has overcome a lot of injuries. We've had some ATV accidents that's a bad word in our mouth, but that we're going to have to put in our contracts for their scholarships for next year. That's going to be they're not going to be able to do that. So, but otherwise, this team has accomplished a lot of individual goals, and like I said, we'll just go with it right here. First will be Abby Rowland. Wave your hand, Abby. Abby's from DeSoto, Missouri. She was our second baseman and played outstanding for us all year defensively and was a fire plug out there at second base. Lucy Walter. Lucy Walter was a pitcher and also a utility player. She played some outfield for us. But Lucy came in a lot of games when we needed somebody to shut the door, and she did a great job with that. She's got, if you have never seen her pitch, she has an awesome changeup that ladies out here have a lot of names for, but we won't say. But it's a nasty pitch. Steph Price. Steph Price is an NFCA second-team All-American. This year she was a first-team All-Conference and first-team All-Region player for us. Steph was in the top 10 last year in stolen bases, and then she's in top 25 this year, and unremarkable as a shortstop. We've never seen her. She's got one of the best arms I've ever seen, and by far our best shortstop we've ever had come to Jefferson College. So Emily Hillis. Emily is an outfielder for us. Emily is a great defensive player, and we used her quite a bit off the bench as a pitch run and done a great job for us. She was able to steal a lot of bases and do great force things offensively when she was in there. Brittany Mills. Where's Britt at? Brittany's she's a little short one there. Brittany's an outfielder for us. She was another one that came in and did a great job coming off the bench and also running some bases for us also. Crystal Henson. Crystal she's from Sykes, and she was a third baseman for us, and platooned in that position for a long time there at third base, and done magnificent there at third base for us, and she was a solid key player over there. Jet Buckert. Jet, I never can get her last name right, but Jet was a second team all-conference, and she was also second team all-region. She was a right fielder. Jet, if you don't know, has played with, we're thinking maybe a torn rotator, torn labrum in her arm all year long. She played with that from the very beginning of the season, and so we always joked about it because she would slingshot the ball when she threw it. She's going to come back next year stronger and hopefully better after she has surgery on it, and hopefully they get it fixed, and she's going to be an outstanding outfielder for us next year. Holly Marco. Holly came from us from Winfield. She was a third baseman for us. Holly was, solidified over here third. She played an excellent position there all year long for us, and she got some team recognition by getting first team all conference and also first team all region. Holly did outstanding in the postseason, offensively hitting the ball for us quite often, and hit almost over 500 after looking at the stats through the postseason. So she did very well for us. Kayla Meyer. Kayla Meyer is a pitcher from Fox High School and also a first baseman for us. Came throughout the season and matured as she was going on and did a great job for us. And offensively, I think 4 or 5 home runs, and so she's showed some potential power there for us. So we're looking for big things for her for next year. Christina Young, or Shorty. Where's she at? There she is. Christina Young is another one that she battled some injuries earlier on and then overcame those, and at the end of the season was a fireplace. She was one of our players that we looked up to get an inning started, and so by doing so, she was able to be on the first team all conference and also first team all region, and so if you ever seen her play, she can cover some ground out there in left field. Sarah Kreisel. Where you at, Sarah? There you go. Sarah's a local from Hillsboro right here. She played center fielder for us for the last 2 years. Sarah's done an excellent job for us out there defensively, and offensively she was, she's a slapper type hitter where she can, you never know she's going to bunt her, she's going to drive her over your head, and defensive always had struggles with that. And she was a second team all conference player for us this year. Kayla Taylor was also another one that was an outfielder for us. She came in as a catcher, and we platooned her out there, and she showed some power for us also this year at times. So we're looking to work on her hitting and get her out there, and she's going to be a force for us next year. Chelsea Smith. Chelsea's a big freshman for us, our pitcher. Chelsea completed an excellent season this year. She ended up finishing 20-6. She's first time in our program's history we had a 20-game winner this year, so we're happy for that. She had over 100 Ks throughout the season, and so she was a first team all conference, first team all region player. Lauren Gunnett. Where's Lauren? There she is. Lauren's another local girl here from Hillsboro. She was a pitcher. She had a great season also. She finished up 13-6. Pitched against some good quality opponents. She probably one of the best games I've seen her throw was just this last game we played against Three Rivers, and we dropped a 3-2 decision to them. But Lauren kept us in that game and gave us the opportunity to win, and that's what you got, all you can ask from a pitcher, and she did that. And she did that all year for us. So thank you, Lauren. Amanda Williams. Amanda Williams is our catcher. She started showing some power throughout the season, and so especially in postseason play, she lit it up against a few teams, and so we were happy to see that. And she can, if you've never seen her, she can hit the ball. We've got to work on her running skills a little bit, but she drives it to the fence, but we can't get her past first base, so unless she hits it over the fence. So, but we expect big things from Amanda next season. Kayla Walters. She platooned a little bit from third base and catcher. She's a good fire plug for us also. She came in defensively when Amanda needed some rest and did an excellent job. And she's kind of like a Steph Price with her arm. If you've never seen her throw, she can, runners won't steal her because she's got a good cannon over there. So we hopefully next year we'll see what we can do with her. Chloe Wolf. Chloe's can't be missed. She's our 6-footer and never stops talking if you're on the bus with her. We got a rule where she can't sit behind me anymore. So Chloe has done an excellent job here for us this year, on and off the field. And a few things about Chloe's, she was the MCCAC Player of the Year. She also is a first-team all-conference and all-region. And a few things about Chloe real quick is she's in the top 5 in the NJCAA and hitting right now. She's number 5 at 5 with a batting average of 538. She's in the top 10 in the country in RBIs with 73. And like I said, she tied our home run record here at Jefferson this year with 13. So Chloe set some big numbers and some big goals for next year to try to overcome. But with that help of that, she's led this team in a lot of ways. Some team goals this team did this year. We broke our team record in home runs with 51. The former goal was last year with 48. So this team's done a lot. Their batting average as a team is higher this year than any year in the past. So this team has overcome quite a bit to accomplish what they've done this year. And the 6 sophomores we've got, I think 5 of them are going to continue playing softball somewhere else. But all 6, I'm proud to say, is going to continue their education somewhere else. And that's something that's really important. Last but not least, we have to announce an MVP. And this is where I've been torn for just 15 minutes ago. I was just talking to Joe Lang back here because it's a hard decision. Because if we had more than one plaque, I think we could give it to more than one. But undoubtedly, I think we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this person. A 20-6 record here is an accomplishment as a pitcher, and by far she kept us in a lot of games with it. And our MVP this year is Chelsea Smith. The success of our program and this team wouldn't be for our assistant coaches. I've had 3 assistant coaches here for the last 5 years, and that's kind of remarkable because with the jobs and families and things like that, it's hard to keep assistant coaches, as all these head coaches know. And Brandy Munier and Charlene Johnson and Jeff Melton, they're just irreplaceable, and I can't be more pleased to have them. And I hope I can attain them and get them back next year. And the last one is my wife. Luckily, she doesn't have to do laundry for the next 3 months because I know the girls like to get the uniforms done. But I appreciate everything she does, and I'm away a lot, and she's also supportive, and she's also takes time to go to the games and travel with us and things like that. So she's Mama Mindy Tillman. So thank you very much. And this is your 2012 Jefferson College Vikings softball team.
As an athletic director, this is an award that really is an important award that I think sets the standard for Jefferson College athletics. And you've also heard mention about how important our student success coordinator, Jason Gardner, is to not only this individual's success, but every student athlete in here. And it's a position that is very unique to community college athletics. There are very few community colleges across the country that have the support that Jefferson College athletes do. And Jason, I believe all of these academic successes that are mentioned about academic all-conference and academic all-region, and in particular this next student athlete can be shared and enjoyed by not only by you but by everybody in here, and we thank you for your work. Our 2012 Scholar Athlete is Alexis Brooke Simpson. Brooke is from Scott City, Missouri, and attended Scott City High School. She will be graduating summa cum laude, and as best I know, still plans to major in accounting. That's what I saw earlier. Is that still correct? Accounting, very good. She will be attending Columbia College. She was a member of Phi Theta Kappa, and I believe we very nearly lost you to Mineral Area College early in the recruiting process, and Coach Steiger, I want to thank you for recruiting this young lady. Not only was she a terrific volleyball player, but obviously she deserves this award as she attained a perfect 4.0 GPA in her 2 years as a Jefferson College student. Brooke, I'd like for you to come up and accept the 2012 Scholar Athlete Award. And we'd also like to have your mom, Teresa, please join us for a photo. And congratulations on a great, great award. This final portion of our banquet is about honoring Jefferson College's best. There's a little bit of history behind this Hall of Fame. There were two independent Halls of Fame that we felt a great need to combine and make it into a comprehensive organization. And we put together a steering committee 2 years ago that agreed. And what we picked at that time was a selection committee made of 11 members. Dr. Ray Comiskey, our president, Dean of Student Services Julie Frazier, myself, Roger Barentine, marketing and PR, faculty member Scott Holzer. We've got news media involved in this. Gordon Bess is on our selection committee. Another media personality is Ryan Reinheimer of KJFF. And then we have 4 alumni that represent different decades. We have Dean Dunn, who represents the 1970s student athletes, Judy Dobbs Rosner, who represents the 1980s, Heather Middleton Russell, who represents the 90s, and Zach Bone, who represents the 2000s. The criteria that we put together for the Hall of Fame is very specific. Individuals needed to place either first or second in individual or team competitions at NJCA region, district, or the national level. They needed to receive first or second team NJCA All-American status. They would also could possibly have to have been part of the United States Olympic Committee or being a member of various professional sports leagues and teams. Some other general criteria is we wanted outstanding performance and recognition as evidenced by accomplishments such as All-American, national champions or qualifiers, recipients of various awards and honors, special team selections such as conference or all-region, or having set school statistical records that would be so outstanding that would eliminate any doubt as to their qualification for this award. We also wanted them to exhibit acceptable standards of conduct for the athletes. We always preferred that student athletes graduate, although it's not necessary because we often see many students transfer to us that were outstanding athletes. And finally, we wanted their careers to have ended at least 5 years prior to their induction. Again, we're talking about the best of the best here. individuals that have accomplished things that go down in the history books as truly amazing accomplishments. And tonight what we would like to do is honor those two individuals one at a time. And the first individual that we would like to honor is currently our head volleyball coach, but she ended her playing career several years ago. And we'd like for the presenter to step forward at this time and talk about Ida Steiger. And we're going to do that with technology in the first round. Ida's St. Louis University coach, Ann Cordes, who is currently the head coach at the University of Louisville, was gracious enough to put together a presentation on video. And we'd like to start out your induction by hearing her words about you.
I'm the head volleyball coach at the University of Louisville, in Louisville, Kentucky. And I'm here to introduce Ida and Tanavashite Steiger. I had the pleasure of coaching Ida when I was the head volleyball coach at St. Louis University. And I'm very sad that I can't be there tonight. I have meetings in Los Angeles this week, and it was impossible for me to make the trip to Hillsborough. But I'm so proud of you, Ida, and I'm really excited to be able to share a couple stories about Ida and her time that I got to coach her at St. Louis. Before I get started, I want to congratulate Joellen as well. Joellen, you're just a phenomenal coach, mentor, administrator, and I just can't imagine how many different athletes are excited for you tonight, because your reach has been so great. So congratulations to you and Bob and your whole family. So anyway, Ida, I took the job as my very first head coaching job at St. Louis University in 2004. And as the recruiting coordinator at the University of Illinois, I was very aware of Ida because we had looked at her at the University of Illinois. So I took the job in January, February in 2004, and I literally got to St. Louis, said make sure that my recruiting or my NCAA scores are in so I can go up and find out what's going on with this amazing Lithuanian player at Jefferson College. And so when I called Joelle, and I was lucky enough to find out that Ida had still not committed anywhere, even though she was sought after by every school in the country. She was one of the best all-around volleyball players that anybody had ever seen, even though she was goofy-footed. But she was that good that she could do things backwards and still be one of the best on the court. And she was one of the most competitive players. She was just nasty competitive, which is surprising. So I went up to meet her in Hillsborough, and she was as quiet and meek and shy as I've ever seen anyone. She kind of stayed by Joellen's side, wasn't really sure what to say. I thought it was maybe part of her personality until, she came to campus, and I soon found out she has a mouth on her. But she was amazing. I think I benefited from the simple fact that Joellen and Ida were so close, and that Joellen had taken over role, Joellen and Bob both as parent, and that she wanted to stay close. She wanted to stay close to her mom and dad. And Ida came and played for me at St. Louis for 2 years. She was one of the absolute best players I've ever coached. For a St. Louis team that was at the bottom of the barrel, she helped ignite the program and lay a foundation for future success. She became the first All-American in our program. And again, one of the most competitive kids I've ever coached. She played a number of positions, and we weren't real good at the time. And so I can tell you right now, she set the school record, and in 2005, she set the NCAA record for most swings in a match, which was like 101. She took 101 swings in one match, which isn't surprising that she needed surgery on her shoulder the next year and came back and played some different roles for us. I think what's most important and impressive about Ida is that St. Louis is a very, very strong academic school, and she came over and she did a phenomenal job. She worked so hard. It was not easy. It's not easy for anybody at St. Louis, but for a kid that had only been speaking and writing English for just a few years, it was an absolute uphill battle for her. And I can tell you that she got through that and was successful at St. Louis because of Joellen and Bob. She would get her tutors and get help, but where she felt most comfortable was at home in Hillsborough. And she would go there all the time and come back with only a couple hours sleep, and of course have the game of her life, and then go back, write papers, study for tests. And what was most impressive, as soon as she was finished, she knew she wanted to get into coaching, and she knew she wanted to get into teaching. So she went right away and received her master's degree. I couldn't be more proud of Ida as a person, as a daughter to both Joellen and Bob, and of course to her parents in Lithuania. She's a phenomenal sister and now a great coach. What I love hearing more than anything is how frustrated she gets, because I just want to, I think anytime as a coach and your former player goes to coach, and they call and say, gosh, I don't understand why these kids don't work hard. And you're like, I know, that's the secret. But she cares so much about her players. And, and I think she's turned into a great coach. And I'm excited for her. She's got a lot of opportunity. I know she loves to teach, and I know she loves when kids get it. It was so exciting a couple years ago to be present at her wedding to her amazing husband, Ben, and then be able to see her baby, Colby, I think a year and a half ago. I know he's going to be huge and running around, I'm sure, all over. And so I think anybody that's a basketball coach there, Jefferson baseball coach, might want to get their hands on him right away. But Ida, I can't imagine a more fitting honor. You're absolutely one of the most amazing volleyball players I've ever coached. But you're just one of my most favorite people. I love you so much, and I wish you all the best. I hope you guys enjoy this night. Joelle and you as well. And congratulations. Thank you.
That was Ann Cordes, the head volleyball coach at the University of Louisville. To close out Ida's induction into the Hall of Fame, we'd like to invite one of Ida's teammates, Miss Rachel Wyke, to the microphone.
I can see over the podium. Hi, Ida. That's going to be hard to follow. It's my privilege to introduce Ida Steiger to Jefferson College's Hall of Fame. I played volleyball with Ida nearly 10 years ago, but her example means more to me now than it did when I was 18. Looking back, I can truly appreciate the amount of work and dedication Ida gave on and off the court. I can't imagine how hard it was to learn English and biology at the same time, or how difficult it was to move across the world to a small town in Missouri without knowing a soul. But when you're 18, that level of bravery is hard to appreciate. Ida and I watched Tom and Jerry cartoons. We experienced Jefferson County culture with Walmart trips. We listened to Delilah on Soft Rock 102.5. You probably still do, don't you? We ate a lot of Dairy Queen. Ida gave me the nickname Pumpkin and the opportunity to play volleyball with one of the greatest athletes in the country. Playing with her was without a doubt the highlight of my career. While at Jefferson, Ida tied the record for most kills in NJCAA history, and she was ranked second nationally in kills. She was named to the All-Region team and was recognized as who's who among Jefferson junior colleges. She was named an NJCAA All-American. After graduating from Jefferson College, Ida continued her career at St. Louis University. While at SLU, Ida was the first person in any sport to be named Player of the Week 4 times in the same season. She was named the MVP for the 2004-2005 season. She was also named to the All-Conference and All-Region teams and was an NCAA All-American. Ida was a once-in-a-lifetime athlete. It was my privilege to play with her then and my honor to introduce her to you tonight. Ida Steiger.
So I don't like public speaking in the first place, and now I'm all emotional, so it's fun. It just, yeah, it's hard. It's just, I don't even know where to start, you know. Hard to believe that about, I want to say 25 years ago, I wanted to be a dancer. I'm very appreciative of my parents pushing me the other direction. So, but yeah, I mean, I know my parents are not here, and you know, they had, and they still have a big influence on my life. And you know, Joellen and Bob, you know, it's this institution brought me here, and I'm grateful and thankful. and so many people. It's not the award, it's just the people when they come through, like Ann, Pumpkin, and this is a new memory that I will cherish forever. Thank you.
Whenever individuals walk into this gymnasium and they look at the banners and recognize that the majority of the national tournament appearances belong to women's volleyball, and they see that the banner that hangs as a volleyball championship for MCCAC in Region 16 is nearly full, immediately know who accomplished that as head coach here for so many years. It's almost impossible to put into words the success that Coach Stringer has brought to this institution as its volleyball coach for so many years. You heard the passion in Coach Carroll's voice about his appreciation for what she accomplished. And while I was a bystander and witnessed some of those contests as a resident of Jefferson County 30 years ago, the description I could give to it would pale to what a former player could actually provide to this induction into the Hall of Fame. And that's what we would like to present now. We'd like to have Rita Bauman, a former player of Joellen's, come up and present this Hall of Fame award. Rita, if you please come to the microphone.
As a former player for Joellen Stringer, I am very honored to introduce her as the first female coach into the Hall of Fame. Joellen has numerous accomplishments through her 33 years of coaching volleyball at Jefferson College. Under her outstanding leadership, Jefferson College developed one of the strongest and notably most recognized volleyball programs in the nation. She has accumulated 1,262 career wins with only 399 losses throughout her coaching career. Her teams have won 27 conference titles and 19 regional championships. Her teams have appeared in 21 NJCAA national championships, more than any other team or coach in the entire country, and finished 13 times in the top 8. Coach Stringer was named the MCCAC Coach of the Year 18 times. She has been named District 12 Coach of the Year 16 times. In the year 2000, she received the Robert L. Lindsay Meritorious Service Award from the USA Volleyball and was featured author in the AVAC Coaches Journal. Joellen Stringer is a longtime resident of Jefferson County and a graduate of DeSoto High School. I played under Coach Stringer from 1986 through 1988. She was dedicated to the sport and to the college, as evidenced by her long and successful coaching career. She was an inspiration to all of her players. She wasn't the type of coach that would get visibly upset and yell at her players. She was always calm, cool, and collected, kind of like the baseball coach had mentioned. Although I can tell you one time, Coach Stringer, you did get upset. That was, I don't know if you remember, but Lisa Armstrong and I, in our freshman year, we weren't really focused on practice. I'm sure we were talking about boys or where we were going after practice ended. And about the third or fourth time, trying to get our attention, she made us run 20 laps, which was a lot, especially after you got done practicing for 4 hours. Playing for Coach Stringer has left me with a lot of great memories. She knew how to bring players together. I felt very welcome when I came to Jefferson College. What she liked to do to bring our players together and get to know each other was to have them over to her house for a meal, get everybody introduced to everyone, make them feel comfortable, which helped because a lot of the players were actually competitors of ours in high school. There was an added bonus to this get-together. We also got to meet her husband, Bob. And by the way, Coach, in case you didn't know, we all thought Bob was hot. And my freshman year, after we were eliminated from the national tournament, Joellen took us to see the championship game between Miami-Dade and San Jacinto. As I watched that match, I thought to myself, wow, what a great experience. I would love to be able to try to play in the national championship game. I shared this thought with Coach. The next year, she made us work really hard. She pushed us in every possible way, on the court, in the weight room, and yes, even in the dreaded pool workouts, which we hated. We made it to the national tournament, seeded 7th. We came out of pool play in 4th place. We beat the number 3 seeded team, Charles County, and went on to beat Utah Valley. We played San Jacinto and lost to them, so we had to come up through the loser's bracket. Coach Stringer believed in our team. After beating Eastern Arizona, we made it to the championship game. Under Coach Stringer's leadership, we played hard and ended up 2nd in the nation. It was an amazing season, an amazing game. Coach, I know you probably don't remember this, but in that year, one of the top movies that was playing was Dirty Dancing. And for our motivation before the semifinal match, she allowed us to watch the movie, probably a little bit later than we should have been up, but we watched it. So on behalf of Darlene Dunn, Michelle Ernest, Sherry Eck, Maria Baviosa, Missy Crane, Christy Mothershead, Sherry Green, Amy Carroll, and myself would like to tell you we had the time of our lives. In conclusion, I would like to congratulate Coach Stringer on her very successful coaching career. You deserve this induction into the Hall of Fame.
I'll be brief. After 36 of these, I know they get into a long night. Jefferson College was a part of my life for so many years and still is. I was probably the first student in this building. When I was a sophomore here at Jefferson College, coming here as a student, they were building this building. We actually had, our gym was the Viking Cafe at the time. So as soon as the doors opened, my little behind was in here. I'm also proud to say that most of the coaches that are here today are the ones that I got to hire as an athletic director. And one of the first charges I had as the athletic director after Harold had been there for so many years was to add 2 new programs to Jefferson College. And it was women's softball and men's soccer. So I've had a long, lengthy tie to this institution, and it will always be a great part of my life. And I will always be totally dedicated and indebted to this institution. I remember whenever I was a student here and they said, well, we're not ready to have women's athletics. And then they gave me my first job as a volleyball coach, and I was able to start the very first volleyball program. When they got ready to start women's basketball, believe it or not, I was the first women's basketball coach. Didn't know a thing about basketball. But Coach Eding was smart enough to know that the best athletes in the county were on my volleyball team, and that if he got me to coach, they would come and play basketball. And we were successful and we won. So being able to start many programs here, I'm really pleased. I'd also like to say a couple things about Ida and Rita. These are 2 of the best players that have ever played for Jefferson. And it isn't just because they're great athletes. They had more heart when they played than any other people, and as you see, I had a lot of opportunities to coach a lot of great kids. We went to the national championship 21 years. And the only time I ever saw a standing ovation for a performance was when Rita Fisher went after a ball about 90 million feet away, got the ball up to a teammate, the teammate took it over, and the other team was standing because there was no way they believed that that ball could be up. And that's the kind of effort that an athlete can bring to a team. I watched Ida get standing ovations as well. And I will tell you that those two are good examples. And the teammates and players that are here as well. It's kind of neat because some of the best defensive players that have ever played for Jefferson are in this building. So I will just say to you that keep your heart and know that that can carry you a long way. And that can be one of the strongest things that will ever take with you. Also, thank you for choosing Jefferson College. I can tell you it'll be one of the best decisions you've made in your life. The one last thing I want to say is to the coaches that are here. I know these young men and women and the parents probably don't know how hard it has been for you the last few years. With the economy the way it is, I know you've had a number of budget cuts, and you couldn't tell it by the successes of these programs, because I know you worked very, very hard. And to Doug and to the whole staff, I say congratulations and wish you all the very best and all the athletes the very best, and thank you very much.
Please stay right where you are. Coach, if we can get you and Ida to come back up, we'd like to give you one last round of applause in a standing ovation form and congratulate you one last time